How's everybody going this evening? Caleb Vernon here, C2C Outdoors. So, funny thing, I just did a whole video over my buddy Hunter's arrow builds and I forgot to turn the microphone on. So we're gonna try to backtrack and hit what we got. So this is Hunter's arrows. As you see, he's running all white fletchings with a white wrap. That is going to take away from his FOC a little bit, but it's going to add to his visibility, stuff like that. When he wants to change these fletches out, it just pull the wrap off. There's benefits to everything, there's downsides to everything, and everybody's got an opinion on it. So I'm sure at some point somebody will put in the comments their opinion on it. He's going to still shoot the standard AAE knock, but his are going to be white. I just used mine in there so I could fletch it. So being that he is shooting all white, it's not an odd colored vane. I did line this vane up with the spinal line so that we know, or he knows, his arrows are bending the same way out of the bow every time. Still use max helical, hard helical to the left. And as you see, these things got 3 different colors. It's a light blue and 2 dark blues. So that would represent your odd color vane. So that in the event that you do run all 3 one color, you still have your spinal line vane as your odd vane is just the same color. So that's that. I got them squared up before doing all that, and to square them up I use this. This is what I like. It's the GFAT 5 ASD flip. And just set it down in there and spin it, and it squares the ends right up. So that being said, he is shooting the standard insert, which is an outsert actually, 50 grains from Victory, just like myself. And I believe Hunter's gonna shoot a 125 grain fixed head, maybe tooth of the arrow, but I know he was talking about playing around with the Grim Reaper hybrid, which looks like a Grim Reaper Micro 80s 3-blade with 2 expandable blades on it. He is also, like myself, shooting the Max Hunters from AAE compared to the Max Stealths. Now for Total Archery Challenge, I will shoot Max Stealths for 2 reasons. They are a little bit heavier than this, but you got more visibility because they're longer. And they fly great. I mean, they just fly awesome out of my bow. I love them, I've shot them. But for this, I want that little bit extra. If you see, the Max Hunters are a little bit taller, and I can still get that going around the shaft to get a good rotation coming out of my bow. But the reason being is you're gonna have planing surfaces here, so now you got a planing surface in the back to match what's actually on the front. It's actually a little bit bigger than what's on the front, therefore instead of this controlling the arrow's flight, this still guides the arrow. Also, as far as arrow squares go, I got this one from Sirius. It goes on my arrow spinner. I do recommend everybody, if you're going to do this, and here's another cheaper one. Just an arrow spinner right there. That'll tell you, is your arrow spinning true? Say like Total Archery Challenge, say you bounce it off a rock at 95 yards and the arrow looks undamaged, you can put it in the spinner and that'll tell you, is it damaged or not. That's a true story, and the arrow was not damaged. He shot it at the Iron Rhino for the chance at a Kifaru pack, and it flew good for him. As far as the wraps, I got a nice little mouse pad here to keep everything flush as I apply the wrap. Other than that, his arrow's gonna be a little bit heavier than mine, but that should put his total arrow weight right around 460-ish. I'm right at 450-ish, so it shouldn't add too much. It's gonna take away from his FOC because he's adding weight to the back of the arrow, but in essence, it's gonna make his arrow stiffer, like more sturdy, because you always remember add weight up here makes it weaker, add weight back here makes it stronger. So I think he'll be impressed. He is my only arrow customer this far, and I did build his Total Archery Challenge arrows as well. But we're gonna get these to him this evening, and I'm gonna try to get him with the ball rolling, and I'm gonna try to sling a little bit of carbon myself this evening, and then finish sighting that bow in, try to get it in out to 80 yards before I start shooting broadheads. So in the next video, we'll bring up all the broadheads that I plan on testing, and I'll also go through my process to test. Therefore, when I start testing it, you're familiar with my procedure that I'm gonna do for this year, and that gives you a jump start on what I want to shoot for 2022, and after my testing, what I will shoot for 2022 and how it performed, and what all will be in my quiver for this coming season, and what I plan on trying to kill with it. But anyways, feel free to comment down below, like the video, all that good stuff. But I'm gonna try to get off here and go sling some carbon, and y'all have a good evening, and hope you are shooting straight.